Hey guys, welcome to Challenge 4. Give your assistant a brain. So far, your assistant can talk, read documents, but it forgets everything the moment a conversation ends. In this challenge, we're going to give it two new abilities. Web search, so your assistant can look up things on the internet in real time and isn't limited by its knowledge cutoff. And also memory. Your assistant can remember things about you across conversations. Tell us something once and it knows it forever until you delete it. These two features are what separate a basic chatbot from a genuinely useful AI assistant. Here's how web search works. First, it generates a query, so your system will automatically generate search queries from your conversation context. Then, it uses web search to search the web for relevant information. Then, it combines the web results with its own knowledge. And then it gives you an accurate and current answer with sources. For memory, first, it extracts relevant key facts from your conversations. Then it stores it in the knowledge base tied to your assistant. Then it pulls relevant memories when you send future messages. And the good thing is that it's cross-thread, which means that it works across different conversations with the same assistant. Now there are two different memory modes, memory and memory pro. For memory, you have auto, which allows saving and retrieving automatically. Read only, which means that you can only retrieve already saved memories, or off, which means it does not save or retrieve any memory. Now for Memory Pro, there's auto and read only. The difference between Memory Pro and Memory is that Memory Pro has higher accuracy, but it costs much more. We prepared the code snippets for this challenge for you in the supporting documents for the challenge, but you can find them in our docs in the memory and web search under core concepts. The first step is sending a message with web search enabled. This is all it takes to give your assistant access to the internet. The web search autoline tells your assistant to search the web whenever it thinks it needs the current information. Without this, your assistant can only use what it already knows from its training data. Okay, now step 2, sending a message with memory enabled. Now we're going to tell your assistant something about yourself. The memory auto line tells it to automatically extract and store more important details from what you say. The next time you talk to your assistant, even in a completely new thread, it will remember this. So we're going to say, I prefer Python over JavaScript for backend development. So later in a different thread with the same assistant, the assistant will remember this preference. Next, we're going to list all memories. Now we want to see, did the assistant actually remember? This pulls every memory it has stored. Think of it like reading your assistant's notebook. And as you can see, it does remember we prefer Python over JavaScript for backend development. We can also search the memories. If your assistant has stored a lot of memories, you can search through them. This uses semantic search, which means that it matches by meaning, not exact words. So searching programming language preferences will find memory about preferring Python, even though those exact words were never saved. The score value tells you how closely each memory matches your query. The higher, the better. And as you can see, it's able to remember we prefer Python. Now, if a memory is wrong or outdated, you can override it directly. You can do this through the dashboard or by grabbing the memory ID and sending the corrected content. Next, if you want your assistant to forget something, you can delete it. Once it's gone, it is gone. Your assistant will no longer reference this memory in future conversations. You can do it through the API or through the dashboard. Lastly, to check how many memories your system has saved, you can either look at it through the dashboard or by hitting this endpoint. All right, that's it for challenge 4. Next, we're going to see how we can do tool calls. Thank you guys.